Well, let's do a little bit more. Oh yeah, you're real. Can I ask you something? No. I'm gonna get out of here. Gotta get out of here now. I've had enough. Gotta break free. Snap out of it. For him. Makoto, what are you doing here? What? Does it look familiar to you? That's my crystal ball. But it's all smashed. What the heck?
What the heck?
Only brought it because the guy said it was blessed. That it was unbreakable. How did he break it? Or how did it break?
What?
He just made a glass and not crystal? Did that guy totally do me? Why are you here? Belong to the pillars of history. Genghis Khan, George Washington, Holy Hand. He said whoever controlled the crystal ball controlled the world. Was that seriously all BS? Let's put that aside for now. You say without a doubt this belonged to you? Yes, man, for sure. Oh, I forgot it in the laundry room last night. Somebody must have came by and snatched it. In the laundry room? If anyone could have found it and taken it. Shattered crystal ball has been updated to the truth bullet section of your handy book. And here you go, that's all I wanted to know. Sure. And by the way, I almost forgot to ask, but how much did you pay for that thing? I think I saved off on fortune telling for 2 full years. That'd be like $1 million. $1 million. Pretty cheap actually, and considering it gives you the power to control the world. It's just too stupid, I can't even feel bad for him. Ding dong, bing bong.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started, It's time for the long-awaited class trial! Now then, allow me to appoint a proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Red door on the first floor. Where I should go. Where I have to go.
Yo!
You're late, Makoto. We've all been waiting for you. Bet you were afraid you would be discovered and the murderer you are. As a murderer you are.
Listen to me!
I'll jump to the shit, save that for the class trial. There we can all reveal the cause of Makoto's trial. Everyone wants to be the bug. I both knew that all too well. But then who is the killer? When he murders the apple? Nonetheless. Here. We'll come to the darkest stage.
You know what I mean.
Oh, I did my job counting on the rest of you. Being so insistent, even though you're obviously get killed or murdered or arrested. Some people is kind of. Did you find anything that might actually prove your innocence? Oh. Are you scared? What's the weight limit? I'm so scared of that. Courage isn't quite right.
Makoto.
But before, it's up to you to uncover the mystery surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. Yeah, but like, he's also playing with the word's life here. You know when he killed him. You uncover the truth and say that his death. Didn't need something else to tell me to do it. Nakazana. I don't know if there is. Raise my voice to try and give him some courage. I mean, we know that she knows from the writing on the wall. With anticipation. I thought about like each way it could be written. You have, you know, the way it is, the 11037. You have it backwards, which would be 73011. Or you have it mirrored, like she looked down below her arm and just wrote it from her point of view, looking down. So it would be Leoii or something like that. So I don't know. Each step forward, I could still feel my heart staring at I'm starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already in the elevator when I finally stepped on. I mean, she wrote it with her left hand, so it was on the left hand side, so I assume she looked down. But even then, I don't know. Steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds toward the school basement. Wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when this time finally comes.
Oh.
Rather than that, it is now more like a defendant waiting to receive his judgment. Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. He finally arrived. What do you think? Doesn't it feel like a real courtroom? Like a Hollywood movie set, right? Not even close, it's total crap.
Well now.
Okay, everyone find your assigned seats and sit down. Hurry up now, hurry up. We did what he said and found our seats. Seats were arranged in a giant circle. Those are just standing stools. So everyone could see everyone else. Which also meant it would be easy for anyone to transfer the tension and ease on anyone else. I love the sign. The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. Current on our first case opened. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. Deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Oh, we have one perk. Trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever
Why is he
did it,
vibrating
raise
like
their
that,
hand.
man?
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Jeffrey.
Okay, but
What about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
Let's begin the debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me, everyone's lives are on the line. First non-stop debate is about to begin. Want to hear more? Sure. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. To you to unearth any lies or contradictions buried within their statement. What that means is that you'll have to say your truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the left stick to aim and the fire with the Y button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and only use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. And then you only note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. Press the menu button during these arguments, you can review the controls. Good luck and have fun. This sounds highly convoluted. Because if Sayaka hasn't resisted, we'll repeat. In the group of statements, some words sure is actually wrong. You have to shoot the specific word. I missed this.
Damaged. I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
Finish the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene.
bad. I'm back. Had a phone call.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Make your argument. What's your next step?
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? Son of a bitch!
I forgot that it was Y, not A.
Some kind of shot, without a doubt.
So the killer random knife.
No, it's wrong.
Kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
Is right there's gonna be a breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it? Does I know dang well I'm not the killer? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Yeah, it's gonna be about loading the argument right. Concentrate by holding down the right bumper, yes. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. I don't really think I need to. How with that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge, and if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest, no need to rush. Good luck and have fun. What's your argument? What was the count?
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in... Nobody was in the dining hall.
No, it's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night and all the knives are still there. When I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives were gone. You're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Ugh, good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops, did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife? Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall. No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
He doesn't wear those types of shirts.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Back down to an A there, my guy.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Exactly.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Funko.
Sayaka.
Oh.
She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? The person who took the knife from the kitchen was Sayaka.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Darn, if I'm doing something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? They convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Hair. First Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. To hear more, sure. As advance further in the class trial, the Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. Would you play Hangman? I love Hangman. Important phrase related to the incident in question. I have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around. The letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Let's take the A and press Y button to shoot the desired letters. Suffer damage at your influence gauge. If you reach 0, you run out of time and you fail. Good luck and have fun. That should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be a crucial point. Figure out what that something is. Hangman's Gambit. Do I not know how to do this? I wish to shoot the A.
Now I understand.
I did A the first time. The A button. I shot A with the A button. Didn't do anything. That's why I hit Y and it didn't do anything.
There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes, and if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
You're just dumb, Celeste.
That
Sorry.
makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Call yourself a gambler?
Yes, very true, very true.
Peter, what do you add to this?
Then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
The door frame?
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Well, the struggle of getting into the bathroom and the evidence that proves it is. It's still locked. Let me do this one. It's always Y. Don't press the A button.
evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
Doors are
The doorknob
doorknobs.
for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh, yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoka said it was a bewildering act. I wanted to notice it at first, but is that the key point here? A bit more to learn about non-stop debates? Absolutely. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. And no matter how many weak spots, there essentially are only one lie or contradiction at this debate. What I say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. If you bull in the wrong one, not only will you fail to refute what they said, also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. And this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. Rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Good luck and have fun. Yes, Beth and Griffin.
The incident took place in Makoto's. Sayaka was first.
Those rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes. Yes. Now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked. Someone switched the frames, or the signs. They didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. Words the important detail about the scene of the crime they don't know was...
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was?
Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to
confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless.
Since I would have known exactly why it wasn't right?
That
Alright, I'm back. Let's get to a spot where I can save this. What I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
How did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
That's possible.
Lock?
Talk or something, and Miss Mizono just let him in.
No.
But for you, Sayaka, no matter who it is, don't open the door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching? Something I want to talk to you about, just us two in 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Come see my room, check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay? Sayaka.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like,
We're gonna have to finish
"Holy
this
crap.
case.
I better make
Send
sure I
a play.
rip the paper out before I use it from now on."
What are you writing? You gotta do
It's a
that.
pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
In that note.
Must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like
think they are at all involved in what happened.